watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans. Make sure you subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and push the like button for me.
Or else you'll be Hakai!
Not Beerus.
You know how this works. Make sure you enable all notifications on the channel and watch the entire video all the way through.
And don't forget to follow UnrealEntGaming on both Instagram and Twitter.
That's enough! On with the video.
During everything that's transpired during the events of the Granolah the Survivor arc within the Dragon Ball Super manga, with everything unfolding the way it did, what if in fact there was indeed a twist added onto the story, which just so coincidentally happened to involve a hypothetical concept involving the Dragon Balls, in which ultimately had resulted in the merger between the former villain of the previous arc, Moro, in mixing his very essence with that of gas and having to battle against our heroes, but with our heroes now also understanding the threat they are facing, what if in fact we actually had the opportunity in seeing what things would have ultimately had been like in witnessing a fusion involving Goku and Granolah to battle against the merger between Moro and Gas. Now before we dive any further into this video, if you are new to the channel and of course have a love and passion for all things Dragon Ball related, including its manga, anime, video games, fan animations, fan mangas, and more, in which would also like to be kept up to date with everything in regards to the Dragon Ball Super manga, the Dragon Ball Super anime, Dragon Ball video games, and any and all additional content within the Dragon Ball universe, then I do encourage you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon to always be notified whenever a brand new video is posted onto the channel, as well as giving this video a big thumbs up by slapping that like button down below if you guys are simply excited to see what the future holds for the Dragon Ball franchise. And with all that being said, I want to thank you all so much for your time, thank you all so much for supporting the channel, and now let's dive straight into the video. As our story opens up on planet Sorel with a seemingly unknown enemy being shown having to hold up Ultra Ego Vegeta by the throat, it was only from that point on where Vegeta went on to ask him, but how? What did you do? How are you this much stronger than me? How were you able to merge with that bastard Moro? We killed him! A brilliant strategy, was it not? After gathering all of the data collected from OG-7-3, my older brother Alec went and used the Cerulean Dragon Balls to merge my body with the escaped prisoner Moro. Moro's body proved to be incredibly durable and his abilities were also greatly valued too, Goro says. But it doesn't matter how I've acquired this power anymore because what matters is how I use it. And now that the other two are out of my way, it's your turn, Vegeta. Just do yourself a favor now and hold still. This will be over quick, I promise. But then, unbeknownst to an unsuspecting Goro, out of nowhere a blinding light had then appeared behind him, with Goro being shown having to slightly turn his head back by asking, what's that power? Where's that light coming from? With Vegeta responding, of course you would, Kakarot. Why am I not surprised? Surprised by what, Goro asks. Something happened to Goku and Granolah. I don't sense their energy anymore individually, but now I only sense one. What did those two just do? But it was only then we're out of nowhere before Goro can even react, where we then had finally witnessed the newly formed fusion of both Granolah and Goku actually save Vegeta from Goro's clutches, with even Goro himself having to be taken back by this. That's when he went on to ask, what the? And who is that? That's not Granolah, nor is it Goku. Wait a minute. As with the newly formed fusion Granoku having to be shown placing Vegeta down on the ground, that's when Granoku went on to tell him, hey, give it a minute, Saiyan, rest now. You're too beat up, I'll take it from here, he says. Now I see what the two of you did, but where did you get a pair of Potara earrings from, Goro asks. No matter, the two of you are no match for me and you know it. I am the strongest in the universe and I will not be overshadowed. When it's all over, he adds, you will die along with your friend. As Granoku went on to turn his head by responding, yeah, right. Keep telling yourself that you're the strongest because guess what? I'm about to show you on why you're not. And as soon as Granoku had then gone and spinning around, he was quickly shown having to aim down sight as Oatmeal went on to assist Granoku by telling him, I've got a lock on his vitals. Aim for the head or go for his neck, what is your name? I got him in my sight, he says, and you can call me Granoku. To where it was only within that moment where Granoku was shown having to fire a sniper beam right past Goro's face, as Goro was in fact quick enough in moving his head and getting out of harm's way. By no means was this an easy thing to avoid, as Goro himself went on to touch his face by responding, you grazed me. You were going for the kill, weren't you? So, you're a lot faster than I imagined you'd be. I can assure you that won't happen again. Damn, he's fast too, Oatmeal says. He was able to see the blast coming, so that's not good. That's not good at all. So that just means that we'll have to try a little harder, Granoku says. He's vulnerable when he's caught off guard. But as we only then go back to Goro, who seems to be amused by this, he then went on to tell Granoku, come on then. If you truly think that one lucky shot is going to be what brings me down, then your fusion must have really shattered that brain of yours more than I thought it did. Grazing my face accomplishes nothing. Now, since you went into business for yourself and took the liberty to make the first move, he says, now it's my turn to show you how it's done. As Goro did not waste any more time by them being shown having to dash directly towards Granoku, with Oatmeal seemingly panicking, that's when Oatmeal went on to shout, hey, he's coming! Be very careful, his blood flow pattern is off the charts. He isn't looking to screw around and you can tell based on the way he's coming at you. And as soon as Goro had gone in making contact by striking Granoku's elbow, he only then further went on to add more insult to injury by telling Granoku, I honestly would love to know what inspired the two of you rodents to merge and combine bodies. Was it because you couldn't beat me on your own? Or was it because you were desperate to do anything that you possibly could to survive against me? As with Goro now shown being on the offensive and striking Granoku continuously, the trash talking did not stop there as Goro went on to ask, is this all that your fusion can muster? You are, as Moro would say, a measly little appetizer, but if you wish to be the main course, then I will gladly move you up the menu. But that's when Granoku was then shown quickly having to duck under one of Goro's strikes by telling him, sorry, but we're not exactly in the mood to eat. However, if you're the one who's hungry, then let me help you fill that stomach up for ya. As Granoku was then shown having to punch Goro in the stomach in a beautiful-like fashion, encountering Goro at the right moment, it only then appeared as though Granoku was beginning to gain some leverage over Goro until Goro was shown quickly having to bounce back into the fight by them being shown grabbing onto Granoku's head by telling him, I don't think you quite understand the gravity of the situation here, scum. You aren't the one who is in control here. In fact, you never were and you never will be. As Goro went on to headbutt Granoku in the face, he then quickly followed up by them being shown having to uppercut Granoku by telling him, you are nothing more to me than trash that needs to be taken out. I am the strongest living life form in this universe, and I cannot allow another power that can potentially be greater than mine to exist. To whereas we then see how Vegeta was back up on his feet and now igniting the powers of Ultra Ego. As Vegeta was also showing signs of frustration, that's when Vegeta went on to comment, damn that freak, he's a lot stronger than he's letting off, and if Kakarot's fusion with Granolah isn't careful, then he'll tear them both apart. There's got to be a better way to get in close enough to find a weakness. But how, Vegeta asks? As from that point on, we only then see how Goro had gone in spawning an energy spear in his hand, as Goro went on to respond, I always hated Saiyans and Sorelians. You are going to regret saving that Saiyan when you did, little worms. Alec wants me to to make this quick. Now die, Goro shouts, in which as Goro was then shown having to throw the energy spear directly at Granoku, it was only then where Oatmeal went on to tell them, Granoku, quickly, incoming energy spear at 12 o'clock, get out of the way! No way, Granoku shouts, not a chance, not like that. Let's see how good the so-called strongest in the universe truly is and how much he can actually take. I've got a lock on him, Oatmeal shouts, fire immediately, which was exactly what Granoku had gone in doing, but before any of his ki blasts were actually able to make contact, Goro had gone in spawning an energy shield to protect himself with, and from there slowly being shown having to be pushed back by responding to, so your attacks are getting sharper and heavier, I see, so perhaps you aren't just all bark and no bite after all. Attempting to snipe my vitals again isn't going to work. You tried that once before and you failed at hitting your mark, he says, in which as Goro was shown having to bounce out of the way and then being shown making his way towards Granoku, it was only from that point on where he then went on to tell him, you've buried yourself the moment you decided to step back onto the battlefield when you should have already been dead. Are your eyes as sharp as your attacks, he asks. Let's test that out, he says, to where the moment Goro was shown having to throw his shield Captain America style directly at Granoku, and from there being shown having to make contact as he then went on to kick Granoku in the face, he then went on to tell him, gotcha! You lose, Cerealian Saiyan trash. What happened? Are you already losing your edge? But despite having to take such punishment, Granoku was shown still being able to stand on his feet by responding, gah, I knew it! That fiend is preserving his true power as he's trying to get adjusted to his new body. I'm also sensing the urge to finish things quickly, he says, which means he probably knows that keeping me around isn't such a good idea for him in the long run. He knows he'll burn out before me, he says, and that might be the key. It all makes sense, Granoku says. That's why he's trying to eliminate me now before his tank runs dry. I'll have you know, Goro says, that we studied Moro's every move, and since we are now one, then that just means that I am able to consume energy just like him. It would be a real shame if I were to just eat your power now, don't you think, he asks? Yeah, Granoku says, it sure would, but it'd be a bigger shame if I stopped you in the process and made you look stupid for even trying it in the first place, wouldn't it? Cheeky, Goro says, but you and I both can see that I am much faster than you. Stop me if you dare, warrior, just try it. By collecting all of the energy on this rotten planet, he adds, who knows how much stronger I'll become. I guess we'll just have to find, but then, that was when Granoku had gone and quickly stopping Goro by punching him in the face by responding, you aren't going to be eating anything. Goku fought Moro before, so I know exactly how all of this works, so you can forget it. I've seen this happen a lot more than I should, and I won't stand to have more planets and innocent people suffer because of you. You're not going to be stealing anything today. Both of your species should have been destroyed a very long time ago, Goro says. How dare you? So did I prove you wrong now, Granoku asks. No more energy stealing for you. But that's when Goro went on to power up in such an enraged state that Goro from there went on to shout, now you're starting to annoy me. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you're fighting here? I'll slaughter you if it's the last thing I do. For my pride, for my clan, to avenge Alec and earn his highest honor. That's enough! As out of nowhere, Goro had gone in opening his mouth and unleashing a gigantic mouth blast directly at Granoku. It was only right before the blast had gone and making contact, Oatmeal went on to shout, oh, now you've done it. Now you've angered him. Get out of the way! An attack that powerful will do more harm than good. Which fortunately enough, that was exactly what Granoku had done as Oatmeal went on to continue. Oh, try not to die out there, would ya? That was a close call. There we are, Granoku says. He's letting his emotions get in the way. Now's my chance. Let's see if this actually works, he says. As visibly Goro seems very angry at the idea of what Granoku's doing, even then despite having to be very infuriated, he still went on to welcome Granoku by responding, you pest. That's right. Continue to come closer. Come on. Come on. Now you die! As Goro's initial tactic was to impale Granoku right through the chest, but fortunately enough for the fusion, he ended up creating a hologram in which Goro was taken back by, as out of nowhere he was then being shown having to get struck from behind as Goro went on to shout, gah! It was a trap! How did he... He baited me. Ugh, enough is enough. I must kill him so I can go back to Elec. I can't continue to waste my time here when he's placed his trust within me to finish this. But as Granoku had now found the opening that he was looking for, he was not looking to let up against Goro at all, because with Granoku then being shown having to make his way down in his attempts of kicking Goro, it was from that point on where Granoku went on to shout, "Looking for someone? Why, you," Goro says. As he quickly went on to leap out of the way and spawning a gigantic battle axe in his hand, that's when Goro went on to shout, "Cocky worm, you are really starting to get on my last nerve, Fusion. There can only be one who reigns supreme as the universe's strongest," he says, "and that title is reserved for me." In which, as Goro had gone in throwing his battle axe directly at Granoku, to his horrifying shock afterwards, Granoku was in fact able to grab onto the battle axe before making contact, as Granoku from there went on to comment, "Oh, you really think so, huh? I'll take that. Not on my watch. Not while I'm around, you're not." You caught it," Goro says. "How is it that you are able to read my movement and speed?" he asks. "How are you doing this?" "You and your fancy weapons," Granoku says. "I'll admit, this battle axe isn't that bad. A little amateurish for someone who calls themselves the strongest in the universe, but it is what it is." "Thought I wasn't aware that you'd use more weapons against me?" he asks. "How sad. You should be embarrassed of yourself. Unlike you, I don't need cheap weapons to win when I have the sheer willpower and strength to do it all on my own. You're a little too grown to be playing with toys, don't you think? I don't need a battle axe to finish this battle, especially when I have my own power as my ultimate weapon. Kame!" As Goro knew exactly what Granoku was about to do, as Goro went on to respond, "It's that move again. I've seen this be used by Goku before. He's going for broke. He knows he can't keep this up much longer," but then Granoku was not having it, so instead he ends up firing a gigantic Kamehameha directly at Goro, to where right before his Kamehameha had gone and making contact, Goro went on to shout, "This attack of yours will not be what breaks me, hybrid scum." "Where is this worm getting all of this power from?" Goro asks. "This attack of his, I can't stop it. Curse them, I'm losing ground. I've got to deflect this attack before it consumes me." Which, out of sheer desperation, was exactly what Goro had done, and from there being shown having to fully redirect Granoku's Kamehameha up in the air, but it was only out of nowhere where another gigantic energy blast was then shown making its way towards Goro. As Goro couldn't seem to believe this and barely being able to get out of harm's way, that's when Goro went on to ask, what in the world is, wait, that's a dense energy. Destructive power," he says. "There's no way those worms were able to create that so quickly. Unless, but of course," he says, "Vegeta." To whereas we then see how Ultra Ego Vegeta was in fact still standing, that's when he went on to address the fusion by telling them, "Oh no you don't, you freak. I'm not done with you, not by a long shot. Kakarot's fusion with Granolah isn't going to be your only problem here, fool. You repugnant abomination of a warrior, you're nothing but a desperate pawn to your stupid older brother. I should have killed you before the Cerealian and Saiyan joined bodies, you disgusting little worm. I will make you eat those words, the both of you," Gases Fusion says. "I don't care if you attack me together or not." To where as Granoku had gone in joining Ultra Ego Vegeta, he then went on to address Vegeta by telling him, "Listen, Saiyan, he's a lot stronger than he's letting off, so we can't slip up. If we are to kill him, then we need to do it right now before somehow he gains leverage on us. And you think I don't know that by now?" Vegeta asks. "I know it needs to be done, so don't botch this one up either. If this is our last stand, then let's make it count and destroy him once and for all," he says. In which from that point on, as we saw how all three of these individuals had gone in powering up, that's when Gases Fusion went on to tell them, "The two of you will never know peace after this fight is over, and there will be no corner of this universe that you will hide in that I can't find you. I will show you both what true fear is. Now engage with me." "We'll just have to see about that fusion," Granoku shouts. "You and your your clan are finished and you know it. Now let's end this for good. I'm going to blow your body into millions of pieces, Vegeta shouts. Let's go, you freak, as it was only right then and there during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the Ultimate Fusion Showdown one-off manga chapter special then comes to a close. Now what's interesting about this story more so than anything else is the conceptual ideas of the characters of Goro and Granoku were actually created by me, because for whatever reason I was fascinated with the idea of just fusing so many characters together that I went on to put this story together in giving us a fusion versus fusion showcase, except this time with a little bit of a twist, and that twist being, after having to gain access to OG73 and learning about Moro, then what better way than to execute this information the right way than by having to see for themselves firsthand how durable Moro actually was as an individual, in taking his very vessel, in combining that with gas, in making him the strongest, on top of seeing Ultra Ego Vegeta having to capitalize on his Hakaishin powers right next to Granoku, who just so happens to be what seemingly might appear as though the ultimate fusion by combining both Goku and Granolah, which also inspired me to go on and create multiple mods featuring these characters. So down in the comment section below, what I want to know from you guys are 3 things. That being number 1, if there's any other fusion versus fusion showcase that you guys want us to create, or if there's any story involving 2 separate fusions that you want us to create and tell, then I want you guys to go on ahead and drop those ideas down in the comment section below. The second question being, is between Adult Gas and Moro 7-3 and Goku and Granolah, which fusion do you think would be, of course, the superior fusion over the other? And lastly, if there are any 2 characters that you guys would fuse together from any verse, whether that be Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Super Dragon Ball Heroes, whatever, then what are 2 characters that you guys would either love to see merge together or be absorbed or even combine bodies, just as we've seen with said individuals? As again, I do want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your time. To where, as of course, if you guys are new to the channel, then I do encourage you guys to go on over and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications by clicking on the bell icon. That way you guys never miss a single video that's posted onto the channel. On top of giving this video right now a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below if you guys enjoyed. Tune back in for more, because I can promise you guys this, we are only just getting started. So thank you all so much for being here. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links will also be located down in the description box below. Twitter at TheUnrealEntBiz and Instagram at UnrealDBZ, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you down the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.